the PMA process could hardly be more different. Rather than trying to prove that you're substantially equivalent to a predicate device, you're starting from scratch with your own device. You don't care that it's equivalent to another device. In fact, you can claim that it's superior to another device if you want, as long as you can prove it in a PMA. You can't do that through a 510K. They will not they will not clear superiority claims. If you put superiority claims in your 510K, the FDA is not going to clear it. They're looking for equivalence. With a PMA, it's whatever the data shows. If your data shows that you're equivalent, they'll ultimately approve the PMA and allow you to claim it's equivalent.
That's why it costs so much more, because you got to gather that data, do the trials, and
exactly. Now, if your data does show that it's superior or non-inferior, those are two different things, then submit that data. If it's solid, if FDA agrees, they'll approve that, and you can put that in your marketing literature. That's not an option with a 510K. PMAs are, as you expect, far more complicated. FDA user fee, you remember I said it was about 12 grand for a 510K, $365,000, just the user fee, FDA for a PMA. That's a drop in the bucket. You can expect to spend probably, I would say, $20 to $25 million total, start to finish. Because not only do you have to do extensive bench testing, possible animal testing, but you're very likely to need a full comparative human clinical trial to support your PMA. These trials can run for years. Most of them are 2 years. 2 years of follow-up. Then there's also the time it takes to enroll patients and so forth. After the very last patient is enrolled, that last patient needs to be followed up for 2 years. So it's long. Can involve hundreds, sometimes over 1,000 patients. A whole lot of work goes into them. So the PMA is the main avenue for these high-risk devices, those in class 3, the heart valves and so forth. As I said, it's not uncommon for a full PMA to take 5 to 7 years, sometimes longer. The culmination is a presentation in face-to-face to FDA in Maryland, not unlike defending your thesis or dissertation in the presence of clinicians and other experts. It's called going to panel. I had the opportunity to do that once, and it was, in a way, it was exhilarating at the end. Once it's over, we did get approval. We did pass panel, but leading up to it, I mean, we rehearsed over and over. We brought in consultants and experts. I mean, because everything comes down to that moment. Your audience, FDA.
So I've heard more than once that, in terms of the entire regulatory affairs med device market, from a talent standpoint, that less than 12 to 15% of the entire those in industry have PMA experience.
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. There just aren't that many PMA devices out there, and not that many companies that are selling PMA devices.
Yeah.
It takes a whole lot of capital. It takes a long time. It's very difficult for startups, unless they're very well financed and well staffed, to push through a PMA. It's just a huge undertaking. Hear me, would you speak to me when I open up? And I forward my thoughts to you, but sometimes I say you're thinking too much, and I don't wanna.